Hi, this is Jason with Liquid Instruments. This is the first video in a three-part series discussing how to create, train, and deploy an artificial neural network for signal analysis, using the neural network instrument available on Moku Pro. Although the neural network can be deployed on the Moku Pro like any other instrument, as you can see on the screen right now, it does need to be provided with the parameters of the model, so the number of layers, the weights, the biases, and the activation functions. And those are calculated by creating and training a model using TensorFlow on your host PC, and then exporting that data to a configuration file, which is uploaded to the Moku. Today we'll show you how to download and set up the Moku Neural Network API for Python to help simplify the process for those who aren't machine learning experts. Now I'm going to assume that you already have a Python installation. It needs to be version 3.11 or higher. You'll also need to have the latest version of the Moku software and the most up-to-date firmware on your machine, which at time of recording is software version 3.3 and firmware version 600. Now open a command prompt or a terminal and make sure that you're in the correct directory, which you can quickly check if your Python install is present by typing python --version, which will then return the version number of your install. Now we're going to type the following command into the prompt: pip install Moku. This will install the neural network API. Now you can repeat this command for any of the dependencies that you may need, including TensorFlow. So you can type pip install TensorFlow and follow that process based on their own documentation. If you're a regular Python user, or if you've used a neural network before, it's likely that these dependencies will already be on your machine, so you can check the link in the description for the prerequisites. We also have to make sure that the API has the latest Moku data by typing Moku download --fw_ver equals 600. This may take a few minutes to add everything, so wait until the install finishes. All right, if it executes with no error, so now just one last check we want to make is to make sure that TensorFlow has been installed. I've already installed it on my machine. Now I've already installed TensorFlow on my machine beforehand, but just to check that TensorFlow has been installed, we can type the following command: python-c Now I've already installed TensorFlow on my machine, but we can check that installation is present by typing the following command: python-c import TensorFlow as tf. And if this command executes with no error, then we are good to go. I should also add that if you'd like to follow this example all the way to the end, you will also need to install SciPy, which you can do using pip install as well. This is not a general requirement to use the Moku Neural Network instrument. That's only for the example in this video series. All right, so now we are done with our installation, and we are going to open a Python notebook. This one is called sum.py, and you can find this one and others on our GitHub, which is linked in the descriptions. This is a very simple one, and we'll walk through this example in much more detail in the second part of the series. For now, the final thing that we want to do is confirm that our API and all its dependencies are correctly installed. So all I'm going to do is run this first code block, which will import everything, and you can see in the final line, we'll make a call to the neural network API. If this executes without error, then we can proceed with the rest of the example, which we will cover in part 2. For more information, check out liquidinstruments.com or check out the links in the descriptions, and I'll see you in part 2. Thank you.